Hey everyone, this is Ben back with you in the Midwest Model Shop. So today we're doing something a little bit different. It's just going to be a review from a package that I received from Woody's Models Works in the UK. And Nora's doing something a little different and special this week, so make sure you stay tuned for that. It should be coming out hopefully pretty soon as well. So a while back here I received a message from Neil Woods in the UK asking if I'd be interested in reviewing his Photoetch detail set parts that he had created for the Titanic. We began a dialogue and a back and forth. This has been going on for several months now as of the date of this video. And the first thing I said to him was, what's your website? I'm a firm believer that everybody should have a really nice website set up to sell their products on. It makes it easier for everyone to see what's available, what's not. It's easy to make your payments. It's easy to see what's going on. It's easy to shop. That's really the way people should be doing things. So his website is woodysmodelworks.co.uk. It's a father and son team. Neil is normally a full-time therapist, and his dad, who helps out, is a retired engineer. So they do a lot of 3D printing and photo etch design work. Simple stuff right now. They've discontinued their products for the RMS Victory, which is a shame. You guys should go demand more of that so you can go buy those parts, because someday I want to build that ship too. They've got some stuff for the Spitfire, and then the big deal is all their Titanic photo etch stuff. Now this is really great because it's a replacement and supplement to the parts by Scale the Titanic, which you can no longer get. That gentleman, he didn't go out of business, he just closed his shop down. He had a better job opportunity and moved on from there. So what Woody went ahead and sent me, basically, and these are the things you can get off his site, is the Ddeck beam set, which is not available anywhere else. The promenade deck beam set. These are the beams that you would see up above if you were walking along the promenade. Photo etch funnel wraps and rigging set. Those are only available through Trumpeter. You'd have to buy a Trumpeter's and Chire giant set to get those. This you can buy a la carte. Just get what you need. He has the Superstructure and bridge sets. And you can just go ahead and get the A, B, C, and D bundle set as well on his website, which is linked down below, and I'll put a link up that you can click on to get to. So we're going to go ahead and just open these photo etch pieces up, and we're going to go ahead and look at today. I do want to say that when I started this model build, my intention was to build it mostly out of the box, buy some extra stuff here and there, do some customizing here and there. I was really going for a middle-of-the-road build for the average modeler, because the kit already is pretty expensive. But as things progressed, these people have approached me and they've shown all this stuff, and really, besides the fact that the quality is phenomenal, between this and the 3D parts from China, you can buy these things a la carte, and that's a big deal. Pontos wants you to buy this big, huge, expensive kit. KA wants you to buy this big, huge, expensive kit. And while that's great if you can afford it and it's all in one, these things are better, and I think a la carte is better. I think we all as modelers want to have options, and that's what these sites provide. So because of that, I've agreed to go ahead and do a review of all these parts, and we will be using them in the build. There is a little asterisk with this Titanic stuff, though, from Woody's Models Works. Currently, there aren't any instructions available. Now, the reason for that is Neil and we've been talking quite a bit for the last several months. He's been so engrossed with designing these parts. He's enjoyed the process. He's very passionate about it, and coming up with the right detail and getting everything absolutely correct. But he hasn't had time to work on the instructions. That's the bad part. The good part about it is I'm going to be doing videos showing you how to install it with his guidance, and through feedback from me, he's going to be developing his instructions to be inclusive. Those of you who have the Scale the Titanic instructions and those kits, and they are also available on the 1/200 scale Facebook page, you can get them there. Those will currently work pretty much as a guide for using Woody's photo etch and putting the stuff together. However, I do caution you, especially if you have the parts from mini brass that go underneath the we'll see, C and B deck area right in there. Those are for advanced modelers and they're missing things. They're just kind of a general set of instructions. So what we're hoping to do with Woody's Model Works is get something up that pretty much covers everything you need to know. And it'll just be up to you and your level of skill to get things sorted out. Alright, that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at the packaging that comes. Website's in the link down below. I'll put some stuff up. Absolutely go check it out. It's a very cool website, and let's go ahead and get into reviewing the parts and seeing what we've got. Okay, so this is what you get from Woody's Models Work. It comes in a nice heavy package, and I think the important thing, I think this is when it was shipped, October 20th, and today is the 21st. It came really fast. I don't think he paid for overnight shipping. But anyway, comes right away, addressed to you, and I've opened up one of these before from my clients, and I know he's got some like heavy duty wood in here. Let's see, like this is a little bit damaged, but you can see that there's big pieces of wood in here to keep it safe. So let's open up, I'll show you what you get. Alright, right away out of the package, it comes like so, and there is this piece of paper right here which talks about getting your assembly instructions and how they're coming soon. We'll go into a little bit more detail about that if I didn't already discuss it in the introduction. Alright, I slid a knife right around the edges, and when you flip it open, this is what you could get. You can see your stuff is still super securely held in place with this packing tape, so you're definitely going to need a knife to go ahead and get everything removed. It's Photoetch, it's flat sheet, so Neil's wrapped it and stacked it so that it comes to you well preserved and protected, which I think is great. Alright, let's start opening these up and see what we got. Okay, let's start out here with the first sheet, our funnel wraps. Very nice detail. As you can see, super thin, and I'm using my little BenQ lamp here to help illuminate everything to bring out some of this detail. We'll zoom in as best we can here. Very nice, fine rivet detail. Should be the same pattern as what's depicted in the book, and it's going to be the same pattern as what you get on the Pontos set. We'll back this out here a little bit. Here is the Pontos piece. That's one of them anyway. Again, the discoloration is just something that happens during the manufacturing process. This piece just happened to end up not with anything on it. Probably because it got thrown in the plastic bag right away. But anyway, this is the one that comes from Pontos. It's a little thicker. I can tell you that right now from feeling this. The Pontos one's a little thicker. This is thinner. This is going to be easier to work and get around. I don't feel like I'd need to anneal this right away. Then, the next thing that you get, rigging pieces that come with for the funnel. And what's really cool here is you've got these, where are they at? R3 pieces right in here. He went ahead, and then this is the rigging lines and everything. Neil went ahead and included additional, if I put it up right, R3 pieces. This is great. A lot of manufacturers will provide you with microscopically small parts, and you'll need 2 of them, and if you're lucky they'll give you 3 for when, you know, the tweezers go tink, gone forever. So Neil hooks you up and takes care of that. So that's the first thing here. I think it's fantastic. We've got our funnel wrap kit. You can purchase just this, which is great. For those of you who have the Pontos ones, you know, you're probably not going to deal with it. But if you do use the Pontos ones and you have trouble and it gets messed up and it's a catastrophe, you could just go straight to Woody's Models Work and you could just buy a replacement set of just these. If you're an individual who can't afford or maybe is not interested in buying a whole bunch of extra stuff, but you want something to help the funnels, this is a great little addition that's not going to break the bank on you, which is nice. You don't have to come up with like $300 US to buy the entire Pontos set. Okay, press on to the next thing. All right, back in action here. We have now the Ddeck beam set, and this is sheet D. Woody's Model Shop's gone ahead and named these A, B, C, and D the big primary sheets that come. I'm sure that's for the manufacturing process. But this is the solution to what a lot of people have been struggling with, and that is putting very accurate, nice I-beams up in the ceiling. Now, what's really great about this, besides the fact that these are easy to throw on, he's gone ahead and sorted out one of the problems, and that being how do you fold the Photoetch up in a way that's nice and easy. And he went through some trial and error process and figured out that he had to put some relief in some of these beam sections so that once glued in place, it's very easy to flip up and install. And we'll be going ahead and covering all that. As you can see here, there's some holes in these pieces. Neil went ahead and figured out where are there supposed to be lights in the ceiling along the promenade deck. So you can go ahead and run your fiber optic wire over there, or if you've got your SMD that you'd like to mount in the ceiling or right on that spot, you can. And this goes ahead and gets everything in the proper position, and it takes a lot of the thinking out of it here. So again, this is a very nice, very detailed piece, and you can buy just this set by itself and go ahead and add the detail where you think that it is appropriate. Again, I think this is really what kind of kicked off his whole venture with the Titanic was finding a solution to this problem. Okay, here we have the Ddeck beam set, sheet C, and this is actually, I'm having trouble getting this whole thing to fit in the shot. It's really, really big. This is pretty great. Same thing as what you had kind of in the previous shot is all your pieces for the beams in the Ddeck. Same kind of detail as you had before. These big pieces will get glued on to the ceiling for the Ddeck promenade. I believe that's what we're calling it here. And you go ahead and then once it's in place, you flip up all of these individual little beams and they're right in place. It sure beats going around and cutting out a gazillion sheets of styrene strips and cutting them and trying to glue them in place to get them straight. This has taken into account all of your edges and shapes, and everything goes into place just how you want. Again, all the little holes have been cut or etched so where the lighting goes above if you want to go ahead and light your model this way. Again, SMDs, fiber optics, however you want to get light through there, it's available. So, and again, just as previously mentioned, Neil went ahead and had a trial and error sheet, I guess his practice sheet come first. It was from the etchers to go ahead and figure out, will this work the way that he wanted to? And he actually ran into some problems, so he modified the design to make it easier to flip the beams up and get the look that you want easily. So we'll be getting these installed when we get to that point, and I think it's going to be a real cool little enhancement if you decide that you're the type of person who wants to look up close in the model and see, can I see these beams in the ceiling that were prominent in the ship and in some of the movie shots. Alright, pressing on to the next stuff. And before we get too far away here, I think it's great that he's provided this test piece for you to go ahead and try out. It would be nice to practice a little bit, I think, before you go ahead and ruin an entire big sheet of this stuff. So that was smart thinking. Okay, for this next section, our superstructure and bridge sets, I'm going to try my best to not wiggle too much as I move the camera along. I just can't fit it all in at the same time. But this is the set my client ordered for his build to make some improvements to things. And it is essentially a copy of what was provided by Alexander in his previous Photoetch kits that you can't buy anymore. So this is that set now available again. In the previous episode, I went ahead already and I talked about using the forward bulkhead that's provided by TheMidwestModelShop. I think this is an outstanding addition to what's available. Here you have all of the pieces to the bridge, and Woody's already done a demo on how to go ahead and model this and put together, but you have a front and a back on the inside with all the details. You end up forming both of these pieces and then gluing the two halves together. The only thing is, he did tell me it's a little fragile right here. You have these three very thin pieces holding the bottom and top part together. We'll get to that when we go ahead and assemble things. Now over here, you have more of the upper superstructure available. It's like your A and B decks, and what you're getting here is the pieces that go on the outside of the ship and right on the opposite side on the inside of the ship. As you can see here, Woody's gone ahead and modeled that very thin line that they have running along the ship, so you don't have to worry about duplicating that. Neil's got that all in position for you. All the stanchions are provided to be glued into place, and everything can be set up ahead of time. So you just go ahead and install this. Now, let me show you exactly where you'd be utilizing this. Okay, so as we come over here, we've got my build in the background and my client's build right here. As you can see, we've got the Photoetch sides installed and the 3D printed parts that go above it. These hull pieces that come from Neil's shop, they attach on top of this to the face and they continue up. Now, if you bought Alexander's Photoetch set, you'll already have these parts. However, if we get down right here, see how we have this nicely detailed pipe that runs along there? Alexander's parts, let me get a piece of paper here. They just come down and cover basically to right there. And they expose this pipe. And that's actually not correct. The side should come down and cover the pipe, so if you looked up from underneath, you would see it. These parts from Neil's shop take care of that. And again, they glue right on the face here. Let me go ahead and switch angles here. We'll go over to if you don't have this, because you would need to buy these from Mini Brass. If you have just the kit parts, what we're doing over there, how this will work and what we're going to do. Okay, here we are on the other side of our build. This is probably everything you've seen so far. And this is our Ddeck, so then C, B, and A go up above it. So here we have this just thrown together here, the stock part of the kit. It's going to go basically like this. And what Neil has provided is Photoetch to replace from here up on this part. We're going to be getting rid of this whole thing right here. Now, just so you know how this works, if you have the 3D printed parts that Alexander has made, which would be these right here, this is your exposed area up on top, so this would be sitting like so. You're going to end up gluing to this edge. The bottom of the Photoetch from here goes up because Alexander's parts are essentially this bottom piece right here. Hopefully that makes sense. And we'll be doing this on our build, but basically to utilize the kit parts, what's going to happen is we're going to be cutting all of this off, except for a lip that we'll be leaving right here on down so we can glue to it. Now you could, if you're like, oh man, I don't know about that, Ben, I don't like that at all. Don't worry, you can go ahead and actually just sand all this down smooth so it's nice and smooth and has plenty of surface area, and you can take the Photoetch part and you can just glue it straight to this. That way you have a super solid foundation to glue to. You don't have to worry about anything. You don't have to worry about matching the parts on the inside or anything like that. So that is essentially how this works. And let me take a look at one other thing here. Okay, yes, this is what I wanted to show you. And I'm sorry, I have to I'm holding the camera literally above my head, zoomed all the way out to make this stuff fit in the shot. But down here what we have is the stuff from Woody's Model Works. Up here we have the scale of the Titanic parts that are not available anymore. And again, the main difference is, well, there's several main differences. One, this height, top to bottom, and I don't have a micrometer out, is shorter than the height on the same pieces from Woody's Models Works, and that's because they're designed to fit correctly. Also, the detail is not the same. You get more detail out of Woody's Model Works than you do out of the scale of the Titanic stuff. So for example, here, let's just take a look at this piece. This is an inside piece. Whoops, this thing's a little bent right there, that goes inside the from the scale of the Titanics, and it's nice. There's some little spots right here for the stanchions and everything like that. Not bad. We'll just go ahead and I'll move it down. And let's just take a comparison shot here of what you get from Woody's Model Works. Suddenly we have all this riveting detail, and we have all these lines right here. And we have all these spots on the top. Our little stanchions that run up aren't so petite. That's under scale, in my opinion. Get my finger out of the way. That's the right size right there. We've got the hole in the bulwark for the water to flow through. We're completely missing that here. The detail level of these parts from Woody's Models Works is absolutely an improvement. Now, I've told Woody, or Neil, sorry, I told him, I said, hey man, I don't know, get this into focus, you know, how much are you going to see? But you know what? The answer is probably quite a lot, depending on where you're looking, how close you get to the kit. And the other thing is, it's your model. If you want to have this incredible detail added to the inside where you would see this stuff, it's available here. And you can go ahead and buy just these sheets. You don't need to go buy the entire set from Scale the Titanic, which was very expensive, and now is extremely expensive because it's not available anymore. And you can go ahead and you can put all this amazing detail on. And it's not going to be that hard to do. It will involve a little bit more work than you probably want, but we're going to be going ahead, like I mentioned in the beginning, and addressing all of that. I will tell you, right now, the way this is going to work, these pieces, we're going to be building like the A, B, and C decks and installing them first, complete, ready to go, and then adding these last, because you need the contact points at the top and bottom to glue this to. So we're going to be stepping away from the instructions provided by Trumpeter just a little bit. And again, you've got all these parts here for the deck and the bridge. And if you mess something up and you really want this photo etch, it's not a big deal to buy another sheet. Also, remember, you have the kit parts. The great thing about this is that it's so thin, not too thin, but so thin that you could just take the kit parts if you're nervous, sand them down, and apply this detail to the back of it. Especially like right here, the stuff on the back side of the bridge is just really sharp. So we can zoom in here. All that detail is just really nice. So anyway, that's it. Those are the parts that I've got right here from Woody's Model Works in the UK. I absolutely suggest you all go check out his website. A very nicely designed, easy to use website with good pictures, exactly what all websites should be. Again, that's the stuff from Scale the Titanic. But we're going to be using this. And so if you haven't already, please like and subscribe, because what we will be doing is going over in detail how to install all of these parts on our regular build over there. And then my client, he's actually getting the same thing. He went ahead and bought this set too. It provides the corrections that he was looking for as well. So I'll be able to comment on the installation of both of these using both methods. Alright, hopefully that all works out well. Go ahead and check out his website, and go ahead and feel free to drop a comment down below if you have any questions or specific things that you would like to see in the future concerning these parts. Thank you again, everybody, for watching. Really appreciate it. Cheers.